Okay, so agenda. Status work. Status 1.x. Who's got some demos? If Zoltan doesn't have any demo, nobody has any demo. So Benedek says no demo for Zoltan. Sipke, no demo?
Negative or affirmative, no demo.
Did you say something?
Yeah, my audio is, I know it sucks, but I said sorry, no demo.
Okay. I don't know about anyone else with demos. Do I have any demos? I will show, yeah, I will show something. I will show you Sipke's work. That's easy for me. Then Triage and website plus because we got well, we had Chris, but we still have WebAdvanced. We'll see if they want to talk about the website. We'll see. And any subject that you want to talk about during the meeting. First, status. So I will share my screen. Doesn't want to recompile or what? Sharing the screen. So what was this week about? 7 days ago. Is it 7 days ago? Commit. What's the date today? 17. So 10. I think this was already done or almost. Reformatting web.config. Well, Benedek, sorry, can you see my screen? Yes, okay.
Yes, I can.
So reformatting web.config, that was just about some guy, I won't say his name, it's around the commits that I made, just change all the spaces to tabs and just did tabs, so I removed them. This thing fixed, I think we already saw that. This is a fix from Sipke pulled this pull request to fix the custom forms submission, which was not saving the data correctly or was not triggering the token. I can't remember. Fixing web.config classic mode configuration. Okay, so this is in response to the comment from Bertrand, who could not have his modules to work after migrating to 1.x, because the static files, the static web files were static web.config files were not correct, and it's actually because because I think it's Eric who removed this line. Validation, validated integrated mode configuration equals false. What it means is that if you don't put this thing, and it will try to validate the web.config files, any web.config file, with a compatibility for integrated mode. So if you're using classic mode configuration in your web.config and you don't have that, it will fail loading the web.config file. And because Eric cleaned the web.config files by removing all the system.web tags, and also remove this one, then it will fail on all the static file web.config files. So just re-adding this line will prevent the validation. So you can have an old module with some classic mode configuration, it will still work.
So that means we don't have to modify the static resource web configs, right?
Exact.
Great.
So,
thanks.
Prevent IS from only allowing integrated mode configuration. Okay, but when we generate new modules, we don't generate the these values. So if you take a module right now with a static, let me show you. It's so slow. What's happening? Visual Studio is thinking. Okay, so I'll show you later with a web.config file. Then I did something I said I will do for a long time. I've added some settings in the, well, two things actually. First, I recreated this Sites.config file. I don't know when it was removed, but this is a way to configure the Autofac dependencies per tenant. So this is important. This is the default one for the default tenant, or for all tenants actually, the sites.config. And if you create a file named sites.tenant.config, it will be used specifically per tenant. This file contains Autofac configuration. So I created it, it's important. And then I changed the session locator to have a new public property named isolation level, which can then be set using the site config per tenant. And the default file, let me show you the full file here. No, can't I have it? I can open it in Visual Studio actually. So web.config sites.config. So this file is commented by default, but if you uncomment this section, you see component orchard data session locator, there's a property named isolation level, and you can put the value to read uncommitted. The default value for the isolation level is read committed, which will, so passing to read uncommitted will improve the locks on the database and also the performance on your database, like something like 10% from what I remember last year when I did some tests and what internet says. So you can go to read uncommitted only if you use SQL Server, because SQL C doesn't support read uncommitted. That's why it's read committed by default. Okay. So this is a new configuration flag that you can set if you want to optimize your application. And if you also see some errors with timeout exceptions from database or logs or whatever, which can happen. Equation. I'm not reading everything in the chat window. Window doesn't work. Okay, so Bertrand wants to do a demo if there is time. Okay, and so, yeah, I don't always read the chat, so please talk out loud sometimes, because otherwise I will miss it. So website, dynamic layout, okay. So this is it, fixing infinite loop when clearing output cache. So this is this has been found by Sipke, who tried to clear the cache and it was running in an infinite loop. So this is just a fix for the output cache. It might also trigger some weird behaviors on the server if you click on the button. Then I jump here. Preventing collisions with default tenant. So this is a bug which was reported by someone I didn't know on. Let me check this bug. I bookmarked it. Wrong user detected from remember me cookie. So so the issue was in multitenant. If you log at as one user, on one tenant and you go on another tenant, you might be authenticated on the other tenant too. So what did I answer? Even if you use the username, he was suggesting a way to fix that, but it was wrong. Okay, so now the idea is that when we encrypt the cookie, we store the user ID and the tenant, so there can't be any collision between tenants and user IDs. And now the bug is fixed. And then there was another question which was about he was reinstalling a tenant with the same name, and he was still authenticated on a new tenant. So whenever you reinstall a website, a tenant, and so like the same domain name and the same prefix, you need to refresh your machine key, because the cookies are encrypted with a machine key. And if you use the same machine key, the same app, the same prefix, the same cookie will be sent to the server side saying you're already authenticated if you have the cookie and you remember the cookie. So by changing the machine key, it won't be able to decrypt the machine key and the cookie and authenticate you. So that's about the fix. Thing in the chat. Yep, and also I pushed some more code to clear the cookies when you log out, because there could be some moments where you will log out but it will still be logged in on specific tenants because actually a cookie was not removed. So I just clear the cookies by resending the same cookie but empty. Very simple. So this should fix also the logout when you click a logout and you're still authenticated on multi-tenant. Then Sipke found out that I was not using the default value everywhere. What is that?
Yeah, so this happens if the info set contains the XML, but for example the site settings info set XML doesn't have the page size element attribute. So the element will be there, but it won't have the attribute, so it will return 0 instead of the default value 10 for that part. And this fixes that.
And this fixes the...
Yeah, because as you can see, we're first checking if we can find the element or if it's null. If it's not null, then we'll try and get the requested attribute. And if that's not found, then we need to return the default value. Previously, we are returning the default value if the element isn't found, but there's a situation where the element will be found, but it won't have the requested attribute.
Okay, default here. Okay, I misread that. I thought it was a default of the...
No, this is this is just null.
Okay, yeah, I saw this bug too, and I didn't know how to fix that. I didn't take the time to. Then okay, thank you. I saw it. Yeah, when you set up a new 1.x, you will have a default paging 0, and if you have lots of content, it will take very long to display, even on the admin. Okay, and then Daniel included the Orchard SSL module to the Azure solution. This is on 1.x, on 1.7x. Okay, and also I worked on the messaging and templates module, so I pulled Sipke's and Piotr's module, fork, branch, whatever, pull request, and I integrated it. So now I can show you. This is how it looks like.
Is this the fork that contained the core changes about the Razor compilation?
Don't ask me.
Okay.
I don't know. There are some core changes which includes new interfaces, but it's like just helper classes to be used by the template module. It's not replacing the.
Okay.
It's not replacing the Razor, and this is another fork. This is different because we won't change the no. This is just for templates. This doesn't change the default rendering. Let me fix something first. This, and I start again. finish. So I changed some portions of the code, but I'm not quite sure I didn't break intentional behaviors. So we'll see. So now in the modules we have the messaging, enable email messaging, which depends on queuing and messaging, and we can also enable templates, which is a different module. They don't have any dependencies. So templates is here, and you might remember what they have done. So if I create template bar, okay, so there is a bug, and there were a lot of bugs when I pulled that. So, and I will show you one of the bugs that I didn't fix. So if you do a shape like this, and you do like for it for 0 to 5, say render E. Make a mistake, please tell me. And you say publish, compiles. If so, I have a new shape name bar. So first thing to do, I create a navigation to test my shape. I will create a shape link, and I will call it the bar, and type of shape display bar. So boom, save, and hopefully when I go to the home page, it should work. But it works. What happened? It could not work. Okay, it works, and you see it's using the shape directly here, so it's working fine. And that's a surprise, because this was failing because the new shape was not available when it was first created. And you can even go to template and change it. This has to work because this is what I fixed. So if I go and add a new tag, publish, I go back on the home page, and it works. You see, so this is already wonderful. You can create shapes, let's call them template for the users, dynamically like this. And you can even change core shapes, and it will override them. So that's beautiful. And then the messaging also is in oh, this bug. Okay, so this is because of the page size here that Sipke fixed and synchronized to this change set. So I go back to messaging, and here there is no message, but it's integrated with workflows. So you could say create a new workflow definition foo. When I create a page, save, I want to create an email, send email, come here, this one starts and sends an email to foo@admin.com, blah 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 blah. You can use tokens, and you can even use shapes, dynamic shapes, because it comes with a template shape execute, and here you can say bar, save. You need to hit save. Okay, save, close, and you need to go to the SMTP settings, sender email address admin@launcher.com, hostname localhost, port number 25, same bug. So now if I go to SMTP for dev here, okay. Oh, it seems that somebody else is already listening. Yes, exact. So this one is listening. So if I create a new page, publish. Oh, I didn't say that. Save. Okay, create a new page. Blah 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 blah. Publish, and I quickly go to messaging here. I can see this one is pending. Okay, and so it's in a queue to be sent. The mail has been sent by the workflow, and well, it's missing actually the shape. That's weird. I can process it now, and the shape should have been rendered. It doesn't work. It's been broken. I don't know. It was working for me. Weird. So, okay. Maybe I broke something again. Okay, I'll check. But this is the idea, and so it works perfectly now. So it's in one.txt. It's not pushed yet. I need to rebase it and push it, but it should be available in the next few days. Yep.
I have a question about the message queue screen. You have a payload column here that looks a little messy. What is it going to look like?
We said that we will, when we discussed it last time during the meeting, we said that we will move it to another screen. It's like the state of the message. I assume we could render a nice text per kind of message. So here, because it's an email, we could say, oh, the subject will be that, and the body will be that, and so.
Well, you don't want to put the body in the summary view. So. Yeah, the subject would be
here. Yeah, we don't need that here. We need a little same thing for. Yeah, I don't know, too many information here. Maybe we'll check. But
we could make this a little bit extensible so that per message type, each message type itself would control what would be shown in the payload column here in summary view, and on the details view, it could, provide a better view of the payload.
Yeah, using the shapes like we do for the workflow or other modules, media.
Yep.
A shape with a specific alternate and based on the name of the type, so we can find it. Yep. So our display type. It has to be improved, but the functionality is here and works, so that's beautiful. And I don't know why this workflow didn't take my shape execute bar. I didn't change that. Bar. Yeah, weird. Okay, some little improvements, but if when it's pushed, we can work with that. Any question on the chat that I missed? Can we interrupt to talk about the website? We don't have. Okay, go talk.
Hey guys, this is Andrew over at WebAdvanced.
Hi.
Nice to meet you all. We've been listening to Chris provide some feedback and insight on the orchardproject.net redesign, and I think we had some revisions for you guys and some new wireframes to go over. But other than that, I just kind of wanted to say hello and get introduced. It's on our side we've got Vanessa, who's one of our web designers. Chris is here. Chris File's here. I work as the creative lead for the company, and we are excited to be able to contribute to the project. I think it's just an interesting situation for us because we're skipping a lot of steps in our normal process that we would go through with a traditional client, obviously. So I think
we still expect the same quality.
That's right. Exactly. So yeah, I think we're pretty excited that we've gotten even this far. Just not having even had a conversation or interview kind of thing. So got some updates to the homepage and some more wireframes to show you guys. So I think we can probably just.
If you want to share your screen, just do that.
Sounds good.
You will just have to wait for Benedek to to mention that he can record the screen.
Cool. Let's go straight to the wires. I think that'll be more helpful.
Okay.
They're already open.
That's connecting.
Okay.
Okay.
I can see something, but we are waiting for Benedek. And Benedek, I can't see your...
It's loading. Yeah,
Okay.
I got it now, thanks.
Good.
Cool. Okay. Do you guys see...
Yes, you can go on. Oh.
Okay, great. So first off, thanks for providing the feedback on the homepage wireframe last time. Chris told us what you guys' thoughts were, and all of it sounded pretty good to us. We sort of understood that with this redesign, there comes an opportunity for us to sort of more strategically position Orchard within the market and to finalize or at least come up with the start of some formal unique value propositions, some differentiating factors that we could message in a way that's really effective from a marketing standpoint. Our original idea was to position Orchard as the most flexible open source CMS available, so there's really no limits to what you can do with it. So this is the CMS for you if you're interested in doing something extremely innovative from the ground up and you don't want to be held back by anything. We're also very pointedly comparing to Sitefinity, which is another CMS that a lot of our clients kind of tend to gravitate to when CMSs come into discussion. So our original thought was if we could visually represent this environment that, be it an agency or an internal group inside of a company that is tasked with coming up with very innovative tools and a lot of custom functionality, that would be a situation in which a lot of brainstorming would be going on, a lot of original thought, and that we could represent that somewhat literally by the imagery. Chris came back and said, stock photography is obviously something that you need to be really careful with, obviously, because it could start looking really generic very quickly. Totally agree. We're interested in chasing down some photography that looks somewhat authentic and not staged. And I know that you guys also made available some photography for the last event that you guys had,
Harvest, yeah.
which I think that Chris and some of the guys over here actually attended. I've yet to take a look at those, but I think those definitely have a role in the website. Whether or not it's on the homepage, I don't know. You guys can tell me your thoughts. I think the idea was to present Orchard in a more enterprise light at the same time, so that it communicates across all audiences as opposed to just developers. So we're open. Like I said, we've not been through any sort of interview process with you guys, so you can kind of tell us what you're interested in seeing.
Yeah, the issue is that there are 20 people in the room and you'll get 20 different opinions, or maybe 5 different ones. Last week from the homepage, the main remark was that the image was not really, it was too markety, like, okay, we want to sell you something, we don't care what it is, and someone came with the idea of using one from the Harvest conference. I don't know. The Google Drive that we got contained, I think, very low resolution images and not super quality ones. We should ask Brett for his images, maybe, or Bertrand if he had some.
Sorry, those images are there in the Google Drive folder, and they are 5 to 8 megapixels, maybe.
But they were blurred most of the time. I think we have to check.
Yeah,
what about the photos from the video guy?
Yes.
Yes, exact. I didn't think about that.
I asked this before, and we don't have them, I think.
Let me ask. Okay, so I have to ask Sean. I will ask Sean for images he has. Yeah, he made also beautiful pictures.
I think Brett has a public folder somewhere that has all the photos that were taken.
Well, definitely
by him and by other.
Best pictures must be from you, Brett, and Sean. So we have to check what you all have and see what we can and give access to WebAdvanced so that they can pick whatever they need if they find something interesting. And I agree, this will be more real imagery and be more convincing than just a random picture that you can find. Otherwise, yes, on the home page, yeah, people complain about the main menu, the main navigation, and well, I see it has changed apparently because we can see a download button and developer community and partners. So I think the feedback is reflected now. You will still have some, I'm sure. I see also the new banner, the latest news, pointing to the latest video. Maybe be more explicit about the latest video itself, because here latest news. Because we said we always wanted to put a link to the latest meeting somehow. So as it to be merged with latest news or have a distinct slide for that, I don't know. But yeah, I see it's updated, so it's good to take this feedback.
Cool. We also changed, I think it was like IT directors to project managers within the audiences.
So whatever we say, you do? Okay, good. Can you go back on the first image, because we didn't talk about the point, just the summary you put, no limits. Okay, interesting. Personally, I'm afraid with those headlines like best CMS ever or best community ever or best platform ever or whatever, you know, like opinions. And yeah, I would not like to see, well, it's personal opinion, I would not like to see some bold sentence on the website, because there is no such best whatever. It all depends on the context, on the customer, on the website, and okay, no limits. Okay, we have lots of limits, but okay. Author is a free open source community-focused content management system built on the ASP.NET MVC platform. Author benefit 1, 2, 3. Okay, free open source community-focused content management. That's nice to have this on the homepage, because people know what it is. A content management system built on the ASP.NET MVC platform. That's good. Yeah, and maybe the 3 bullet points are interesting because we can really focus on, emphasize on the key differentiators. Like, yeah, okay, interesting. We have to think about those 3 bullets, but I think it might be important for people when they go on the home page, they want to stay or leave for any good reason.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we're trying to employ where we can some of our learnings on other projects for conversion-driven landing pages, so trying to have enough information at the top of the page that someone could immediately understand what it is, why it's different, and then what the next step is.
Mm-hmm. And I see 2 advantages here, is that lots of people, I'm sure, go on the current Orchard website and don't understand what it is, even though it would have been the best tool for them. And they say, oh, what is that? Is it a content management system? What does it do? What does it run on? And what are the advantages for me? I don't understand. 2 seconds, done, bounced. So here it's interesting because we can keep them if they are already the specific target we want. And at the same time, they don't spend time on the website if they're looking for, I don't know, a PHP content management system. So I think it's interesting to have a direct information on this slide.
Great.
So Nick says content overload scares me. This is much less, which I like. Yeah, that's direct to the point. What is that? And if you want to dig further, you go down on the website and you learn more. So it's good. It's good. Okay.
Okay.
Go on.
Sweet. Like I said, we heard you guys' feedback about the IT directors being a label that may not resonate over time, so we changed that to project managers.
Yeah, I think maybe we'll review the 3 different categories when we want to find some content on each of the categories, and maybe we'll have to merge the 3 to 2 because we see that, I don't know. It's, again, personal opinion. I'm not sure we need the 3 of them. I think we might see project managers to be removed because everything we have to say to make them decide on our chart. I don't know. Yeah, we still have. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
That sounds good to us. I think that ultimately, whatever content you guys think is compelling can drive what the design does. So even if we decide that, you know what, we could say everything about why choose Orchard for all audiences within the space of a single slide, then we could even change that up, no problem. I think we just saw an opportunity to identify certain audiences so they feel as if Orchard has not forgotten them. So just from a marketing perspective, we've identified that you have a need and that Orchard, has a solution for it. But ultimately, we're not forced into this layout.
Okay, but it's there. When we brainstorm on why choose Orchard, we might, we'll see.
Showcase. This was intended to be a separately curated section of content from the
Show Orchard.
Orchard.
Yeah, that's going to be. We talked about that last week, and we decided that it would pretty much just be up to however we end up implementing this. There's a variety of ways that we could do it. We could actually pull it right from Show Orchard by introducing a tag like Show on Orchard Project front page, and it would pull it in and show it here. So that's one way we could do it, but that's kind of going to come at a later time.
Shouldn't be that hard to do. Discussion maybe will be on what to display on these slides, like just one image, like a slideshow for each of the cards, the text, because we have text also on ShoreChart. So I don't know, or just a link to the ShoreChart website. I don't know, but okay. But at least there will be one screenshot and the client name. Sure, that's fine.
Yeah, I think the idea behind this is just to show that some beautiful work's been done using Orchard as a CMS platform, and then we can always, like you said, kick out to the Orchard showcase. Okay, so features hasn't changed. Community hasn't changed, it's the same. But then we did add...
I think it has changed, community. No?
Oh, has it?
I don't remember seeing like real examples like dojo courses or okay.
Cool.
Okay, then the mandatory partners.
Yeah, and we were thinking that depending on what the partners are comfortable with, I mean, we'll do whatever. We're more than happy to create a couple nice looking banners for these guys that seem to fit comfortably within the same space and
really nice. Stupid, but I mean, like this, it's really consistent. That looks fine.
Sounds good.
I don't know if we. So yeah, there might be some static partners. I will say the ones which won't move and have to be there. Maybe we also want, I don't know, kind of a carousel or something moving. If you go up by one row, you see the community thing. Maybe we would like more cards and be able to, I don't know, slide on all of them. Like, an arrow on the right, like a carousel, and you click right, and it slides with other community websites, and might be interesting. Or does it have to link on an external page or another specific page with all the community websites and what they provide? And because we have more, you see here, yes, there is a community here, the wiki podcast, things like that, okay? But there are lots of community websites or partners which are not which we don't have, which are not mandatory to provide on the website, like, I don't know, yes, the orchard market, theme galleries, lots of things of external website we would like to link to and to put on our website. I don't know how many we have, but if you go back on the, down on the footer, on the left column, you see, for instance, partner website. It's kind of the same thing at not maybe the community, but it could be in the same, presented in the same way, and the title, what they do, and a link to their page. I don't know.
Sounds good to me.
But just my opinion. 20 guys here. What do the 20 guys think about that?
Yeah.
What do you mean, Bertrand, by -n+b?
Mention when you made a typo on the chat. The letter that you got wrong, you remove it and you replace it with something else.
I'm learning every day.
Yeah.
Net, but okay.
The thing on our side, we can take that feedback and turn around something that will work really well. And horizontal scrollers, I think all of that can be addressed.
And it works with tablets. I can swipe and see all the things.
That's right. So actually, per that point, now that we're kind of talking about interactivity for a moment, Chris had mentioned that there was a company that offered to do the front-end development, and I wanted to see if they are available. It'd be great to start talking to them or kind of looping them in the conversation so they kind of see what's coming and they know what they're getting themselves into. Because we do intend for this to be built upon Bootstrap framework and obviously, work on mobile devices. So.
They like Bootstrap. I won't talk about for them. They hear what you say. They can take the mic. Zoltan, if you're talking, you're muted.
No, I wasn't. But by the way, now that I'm speaking, also we shouldn't forget that this won't be just the design of the orchardproject.net site, but also of the community sites, if they opt with it, of course. Just something to keep in mind for future.
If it's reusable, it's okay. They can.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter but the home pages, because that can be swept out with something appropriate for the community sites, of course.
Sounds good. I think our goal also is to come up with enough templates that no matter what you guys want to throw at it, you have a template ready that can handle whatever the content requirements are. Okay. All right, so let's move on from here. So we got two other wireframes. One is a landing page for the developer community, and the other is the landing page for the download. Again, we're completely open to what you guys' thoughts are. We're just kind of leveraging a lot of what we've done on other projects, and also trying to be thoughtful about what would work for the Orchard community. So in this case, the idea is that thing is that you could possibly get to that a developer may be interested in is available in the left navigation and entitled in a way that calls out to them. So for example, modules and themes, if they're interested in getting hold of that, that's going to go to, I guess, the Orchard Market?
The Orchard Gallery.
Orchard Gallery? Okay, there you go. And we sort of prioritize some popular, or what could be the things that people are most interested in at the top. And then we understood from Chris that what we're calling here, I mean, we can retitle this to whatever we want. We weren't sure what that feed on the current website's homepage could be called. It's just sort of like posts and articles. And it kind of seems like it's a mix of everything, your guys' stuff, other people's stuff. So we kind of called it like a community blog, but that's just a placeholder for now. But we kind of understood that that's kind of important. So we decided that would be something that could be on the developer community landing page itself. And if I just scroll down a little bit, I'll show you that it just continues in a typical blog style format. And then we've tried to sort of indicate that some of these items in the left navigation may actually take you to a different website by adding those little arrows. They're angled to kind of give some indication. And yeah, but otherwise, I think the key takeaway from this was just having this be a single place for all of this information to be collected and presented in a very compact, easy to scan menu.
This is Eric from Outer Curve. One thing that comes to mind is that developer community implies that the person would need to write code, and that isn't necessarily something that someone in the Orchard community would necessarily do that was valuable, such as documentation or translating or any other ways they could get involved. So I'm wondering if there's a way to do it so that it's less developer-centric, I guess. Like, you want to emphasize developers are important, but something...
Community instead of developer community?
Yeah, or user community.
Yeah.
Just community.
Mm-hmm.
Just community.
Okay, yep.
That's some great insight. That's it's actually not...
I go even further. Munity. Just munity.
We need to lose more letters.
I think we're good with that too. Yeah, it's actually not an audience we'd considered before, so that's some great feedback. Do you think that simple label change kind of hits it on the head? And say if someone wants to come in here, write some documentation, that documentation link is going to be kind of a spotlight on here. They'll find what they're looking for and be on their way.
Yeah, like a good question. If they go on home page, they see community. Do they expect to find a documentation when they click on community?
Yeah. It's always good to have a very clear call to action, and this site has to cover like a bunch of different use cases, unfortunately.
So maybe the link should not be community, but I don't know, not assets, but
yeah, I don't know.
It could be nice. That page needs more of an introduction. Just kind of like introduce it effectively. It's like, here's all the things you're going to find in here. Here's how we expect you to get value out of it.
We could have documentation also live on the main menu too.
What about having a developer community one which deals with things related to maybe modules, but also things like just a lot of the documentation and stuff, but then have a participate one that all deals with ways you can contribute, or something like that.
I think on the current main navigation, there's literally like the label contribute, and we kind of, that's not on the new one. We could add that back in.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
I find support a lot on the other websites. So for instance, on Drupal you find community, you find documentation, and you find support on the main menu, on the main top menu. So community is there, but there is also support, and here it's kind of a mix of the two. They have community, documentation, and support.
Yes, definitely.
And here in your example, there is customers, features, okay, about, and developer community. Let me check.
Support sounds good. We actually came up with support as well, but then we shied away from it because we thought that it may imply something more formal.
I see. Yeah, like a commercial support.
Yeah,
right.
So in Umbraco they call it help and support.
I think not carry that connotation. Help might work better.
Okay, that sounds good. So basically, stop the word developer from developer community. We'll add help, and we'll add documentation. Cool. Sounds good to me. All right. any other comments on this page before we move on to the download landing page?
On Joomla, it's called Community and Support. The same names come and go, Community and Support. Interesting.
I mean, if you know you're on an open source CMS website and it says support, you don't automatically think that someone's like 24/7, chat window ready to open up on you kind of thing, right?
Well, support is on every website that I can see on CMS, open source CMS.
Well, I think the thing with support is that where it describes how you're asking for support, you have to clearly explain the expectation that it's this is mostly volunteer. So
yeah, so probably pretty low risk to put support on there.
It's everywhere. So we want to be different. Let's not put it. No documentation, because they all have documentation. Okay, support is okay.
Okay, so you guys want to have community support and documentation, or just support imply?
I think this page, I don't know, I don't care.
Okay.
Personally, I don't care. What is I think? If documentation is on this page, like you show, it's okay for me. If it's another link, it's okay too. But yeah, maybe people will go on documentation thinking they will find, I don't know, how to create a module. I don't know.
Got it. I don't think. Well, yeah, I mean, some of the stuff that you guys could even change, like down the road. I don't think it's going to affect the architecture so significantly that you couldn't go back on it. So cool. All right. Moving on to download page.
You also have a download page. Wow.
So the download page, we, per your comment about call to action, there was a number of different ways of getting orchards. So we kind of made the assumption that we could prioritize maybe one, like the web platform installer route, get that out there more prominently.
Yeah.
I think it's important to put relatively up on that page the information that if you're a developer, maybe that one is not the one you want. We get lots of beginners being confused because they downloaded the web platform installer version and they can effectively develop with it. So it would be good to show that that information somehow. That if you're a developer, take this. If otherwise, take
explain it in the text, like best solution for developers if you want to do that, or best solution for designer if you want to do that, or if you just want to try your local machine, download this thing. So maybe the text should be explanatory of what the target is, and you can even
really, like you said, case based.
Yeah, and you can also even use labels, tags, like a developer tag or a designer tag, or I don't know, just, oh, it's a developer tag, I should use this one. I don't know.
Got it.
But the text at least to explain what the goal is and what is contained in the download and to do what.
Which one of these methods do you guys think gets used the most?
It depends on every person. So I don't even know. Everyone I'm sure in the room will say the Visual Studio solution, the enlist, because that's what.
Yeah, the one in the middle is probably the least used. Well, should be the least used. Maybe isn't, but should be the least used. So I would favor enlist and web matrix depending on who you are.
That sounds good to me.
Maybe it's not because I work at Microsoft, but maybe I'd like to see also the solution for people to just use Azure and with a free account and install it for free and play with that just by going on the Azure platform. On the Azure website portal, because that's a good way to just set up Orchard without installing anything.
Yeah, Chris had mentioned that as well. That sounds good. Cool. That's good feedback. I think we can come back to you guys next week with
I have one comment. Maybe you changed it based on the comment from last week, and it's just a vicious cycle. The download button. If you're on a home page and you click download, maybe you expect to download something. I would have seen like get started to and in the page say okay, download and do that, like more than just download. What the next step after downloading? You know, like a very quick start or
It used to say get started.
Sorry. Okay. I was afraid of that.
We download because people they didn't know what get started meant.
Okay.
So.
Okay, that's just me then.
That's a good point, though. I mean, I think it's one of those things where, like, over time, you start to see, you know, if you change the label to get started, does it hurt it? You change it to download. Yeah, it may not be exactly representative, like your immediate step, but if it gets people to the right page more often than not, then you go with it.
Yeah. So maybe we just need to explain the next step after download, like to show them. Yeah, I don't know. We'll do A/B testing.
There you go. All right, that sounds good. We had included requirements on this page here at the bottom, just sort of assuming that, you know, we've got links up here that you click requirements could just kind of scoot you down the page and see it there. But otherwise, that's the last wireframe we had. I think the idea behind this was we're starting to build a series of templates. If we go back to, we kind of started building like a very rough sitemap, or more honestly, like a list of pages. And, you know, maybe this is something else we could rally around at some point, and then kind of just, once we develop a clear list of templates, we can kind of say, like, all right, we can assign each page what template it's going to get, so we all know, and then how these things are going to get built.
Okay. Lots of content here. Hopefully just links.
Yeah. Okay. And then I guess just to clarify, someone might have mentioned this earlier, documentation, it technically goes out to a different website. From the user experience, you may not know unless you look at the URL. Is that correct?
Correct. That's that's dynamically computed from Markdown files on GitHub. It's still an isolated website, and it will just reuse the same navigation and the same theme. So, but it's technically a different website.
Good deal. Okay.
So maybe we'll need one template for a content page like the documentation, because we have a navigation. Like paragraphs and a hierarchy of navigation. Yeah, a navigation widget actually, and the content. So yeah, it would be nice too.
Sounds good. Okay, so basically our strategy here was to tackle the sections of the website that seem to have the most moving pieces. Well, I guess this is going to actually technically be updated to community. So community and download. There's just a lot of different content to kind of reconcile, and we just tried to think through what would be a really visual presentation. The rest of the site, I think, is going to be relatively more straightforward. It's just a bunch of static content that I think can be laid out in a really beautiful way. I think from this point we would start to develop some templates for things like customers and about. We'll make revisions to the pages that we looked at today, and we'll post these wireframes up if you guys want to continue to provide feedback for the rest of this week. You're more than welcome. Obviously, we'll take everything into consideration.
Yeah, if you can just put the PDF like Chris did 2 weeks ago on the forum on the same thread, that would be nice to update it, and so we can continue the conversation there. And if you have ideas, if people have ideas and cannot join the meeting today, they can still throw out some ideas.
Definitely.
Next week is holiday week.
Yeah, technically holiday.
We're actually not going to be meeting next Tuesday.
What?
But anyway, yeah, if there are any final thoughts, go ahead. But otherwise, thank you guys for making some time on your weekly call for this.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, the team's really, they were all Orchard advocates over here, so we're excited to be able to.
And you still need to find some place to put your logo to, because if you help on this, you will need a link somewhere,
it's
some hidden.
It's going right here.
Great.
We mentioned that. We forgot about that. All right. Anyway, cool. Thank you guys. Won't take up any more of your time.
Thank you very much. So see you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. I have a little present for you.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Do we need to just click stop presenting, or?
Yeah, you click stop presenting.
Okay.
Okay, good. Next. So the website is done. Okay, good. Just publish now. What do I have? Dynamic layout next week.
Fine.
Next week?
So that nobody can see it. Yeah.
Next week. So I will just give you some website while I have them here.
Sebastian, before we move on from the status, I have a question on your fix for classic mode web config. It looked in the source history like you did that correction for orchard.web, but do you think we also need to do it in orchard.azure.web, maybe?
Sure. Good catch.
Okay.
It was just a test if you were following. And okay, so let me share back. Desktop. So the website I just pasted, just to see some users are using it actually. BMC, Building Materials and Construction Services. Nice. Website, some content. The store locator. Wow. Beautiful. Nick, you gave them the code you did?
Well, for the store locator, I really hope not.
Looks like they stole it. Maybe they stole it actually.
Is this on build with BMC? I can't see your screen. It's taking forever to load.
BMC?
Is that the one?
BMC?
Yeah.
BMC, yes.
Okay, let me have a look.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, it does. It looks like mine, doesn't it?
It's your stuff?
It looks like it, yeah.
Good. You're famous. And you don't get rewarded for that. Awesome. Fairmont Designs.
Yeah, but I never shared it.
I have a good eye. It looked like what you did, so okay, good. Pixel Park. You can even sign up. The Auto Dealer of the Week. A kind of a new design. Now evolving. That's a new kind of design. That's different. It's moving. What is that? New website from Argentina. And the fav icon fail of the day is lane guttering. Thanks. Interesting. And they have a search engine. Okay, so that's just a bunch of websites I found. Maybe not last week, but I have on my list. Okay, is there any that we have to triage in priority? Something important? Or I just pick them randomly?
Yeah.
Okay, in order. Then.
We should go with the oldest ones, I think.
Oldest ones again. Not the votes.
Some of them are months old, like 3 or 4 months.
Like this one is active. It's fixed, and one. Yeah, this one. Let me fix that because it says lifetime scope error when enabling and disabling modules in multiple tenants in parallel. Ready? Fixed. Analytics. I like to make this demo, like starting multiple tenants at the same time. I mean, setting up them at the same time. Beautiful. So fast. Orchard upgrade feature. Oh, I should make a filter because stuff from future version. But if someone wants to try that, I've had again the request for that. The idea, and I checked with some guy in the team. So the idea like that we will have a NuGet package maybe on the gallery to update Orchard automatically to specific version. I'm sure you will all like this. Not if you have big production websites, but so the idea you go to the modules and you say you find a module named Orchard version 173 and you just say install the module. It will actually update Orchard itself to 173 by downloading the module, extracting the files, and so on. So technically you just create an app offline file so that all the requests goes to this app offline file, and the same request you download and you overwrite every file. It won't interfere with the process. And then after that you remove the app offline file, you do a redirect to the homepage, and it will kick in the new version of the website, and you can go on with that. That would be nice. Yes, please do.
What you just described.
Okay. So yeah, if you want to try that, go. Do it, Bertrand. I said, and this one is fixed too. What is that? I don't know where I am. On which it's already done. Released. It was done in 1.7.
Why are we looking at active?
I don't know.
It's a classic.
Shh. So proposed. Status reason closed. No. Release all unassigned. Order by. Update. Okay. This one. September 2, not so long ago. Update of Orchard commands migration phase from from 1.39 to 1.7. Sorry. I just want to say sorry. The recommended and supported migration path upgrade .7, 1.7.1, 1.7.2. Submit. No, that's not resolved, that's just not an issue. Submission limit is throwing exception in count. Huh. Okay, so this has never worked actually. Active release 17x. Import media returns with media. Sorry if this is by design, but the reason is that media part handler unloading. Okay, let's investigate. That's weird. That auto-generated JS contains hyphen character. If you create a content type with a hyphen, its content type ID, the auto-generated JavaScript for the media library picker field. What is this auto-generated? Oh, okay, auto-generated JavaScript code. Okay, okay, that must be a bug. Need validation for technical name field in custom content types. Oh, yeah, so this is related to the previous bug. Okay, because you're not supposed to enter. Okay, so it's actually not an. This one is not an issue. This one should go there. I will close this one. Not an issue. Okay, next I open this one. Content picker doesn't persist and publish items. It is possible to say. Okay. So I don't know what the solution is.
That's probably just a matter of including a versions options when saving the items.
Sorry, one what?
That's probably just a matter of including the version options when you save the selected items as part of the content picker field.
No, I don't think this is the issue. The issue is that when you click on content picker, you see the unpublished versions.
Yeah, maybe just a flag or something on a controller.
So no, there are two solutions. The solution is either to not show the unpublished versions, unpublished items on the content picker, or to let the content picker in the JavaScript to content items which are not published yet.
I would think the latter makes sense.
To allow, yes, yeah, because
yeah,
to point something even if it has no published version, but yeah, okay. Cannot access disposed object in session locator. I check that. Create pages not showing in editor or having created new pages, put some content in them. I cannot see them in the list of pages. Suddenly, maybe you then removed the common part from pages. So I'm just putting a comment and waiting for some answer, because that's usually why you don't see things in the content page. Media library import from URL improvement. I agree, improve it. So this URL import preview from more providers. Okay. Okay. And also please download the media. Download the media. Download media if it's not an embed page. So the idea is that the current menu item is called media URL. When you click on import, then you click on media URL, and here you can provide an embed compatible page like Flickr and what, YouTube and lots of them. So it's suggesting to improve the number of websites you can be compatible with, and also I suggest that if you put the URL of a media directly, like a JPEG file or a video file, then it finds that it's not an embed media, but uses the same logic as the import media and downloads the URL directly onto your media. So yes, please, Antoine, improve it. When I saw the title, I was expecting Piotr, but it's actually Zoltan. Okay, so content child, content, and context shape metadata is not the same in shape events. Sorry, should it?
I think it should. Yeah.
Okay, I'll look into it. I'm not sure. Maybe not. Maybe not. I worked on it like 3 years ago, and one of them was in maybe this one. I've added this one for some reason. Best thing sometimes is to look into the history when it was written and to see what was the purpose. But please, active. So I make. How do I do that usually? I make propose future version. No, let's say it's a bug, but future version. But please investigate. Media library improvement suggestion. Again, stop it. Could the default provider be loaded at first display? Indicates. I think that's the case already. I think it's already the case. Now it's media. I think let me close this one. Resolved. I did that. Error on creating new blog post, and to prove it to you, if I go to media, I say images, import, you are there, okay? So that works. Error on creating new blog post, seriously? A new blog post and get error. No. Okay, I will just look at it because I'm polite. Nope, there's no issue with that. Sorry. Or please provide a repro. Status closed. Can't repro. Okay, this will be the last one from today, 1:33 p.m. We've done our duties. Anyone wants to add something to the meeting? Nobody? You all agree with me? Great. So next week we don't do any meeting because Bertrand doesn't want to, and the other guys.
And I guess the week after that.
What? No.
Yeah.
Okay, but Zoltan, you have to come back with a demo. Sivke, you have to come back with a demo. Piotr, you have to come back with a branch which doesn't break Orchard. Nick, you have to show up. Daniel, you have to finish the stuff you're supposed to finish.
And what stuff is that specifically?
Stuff you're paid for, I won't say more.
That.
I want to see it done.
I'll just like to mention that we're waiting for you on some things.
Seriously?
Yeah. You checked the backlog lately?
The back what? I'm never opening this website. I'm not even.
You should.
Send me an email. Oh no. Okay, send me an email, please. I don't open this.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay, and I think that's it. And Antoine, please make this URL download, and I will be happy. Good. Thanks everyone, and see you in 3 weeks then.
Merry Christmas and all that sort of thing.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Bye
See you
bye.
next time.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays, guys. See ya.
Bye.
Bye everyone.